Ooh! Oh, I forgot to bring the chats up, sorry. I was gaming in the bathroom, so you'll forgive me. Sometimes you have to game pretty hard in the bathroom if you want to get by. Pop this chat out, there we go. Pause the Twitch stream. Go to YouTube. What's pansexual? Pansexual is when you're kind of cool in a way. Not everybody respects it though. And it do be like that. Sometimes. But hello everybody. I had a friend over today and we got some boba. I had boba for the first time today. Boba tea with the tapioca balls and everything. Very trendy. I felt like a very trendy, hip teenage girl. I drank it and I was like, damn, this feels like I'm drinking a cake. Because it was very sugary. I was like, oh my goodness. But hello everybody. Hello. How's everybody's day been? I hope everybody's feeling good. I hope everybody's feeling saucy. Feeling nice and saucy and nice and wet. I hope everybody's feeling wet today. Nice and loose and wet. Definitely not dry. I'm hoping people don't feel dry today. I'm hoping it's a wet day. And I say that because this week we are playing some Citizen Sleeper, which I don't have installed. We got pretty far in Rue Valley yesterday. However, it doesn't feel like we're anywhere near the end. That game is so long. Hang on. Let me send a message. Okay. And then, my friend came over here to hang out for a little bit before I streamed, and they bought McDonald's for their lunch dinner-ish thing, and, they didn't eat their fries? So I was like, you know what, I got, like, leftover chili. I can just pour the chili over the fries and eat that for dinner. Yummy, yummy. So tonight I'm gonna be having some chili fries, some chili cheesed fries. We are playing Citizen Sleepy. Our citizen so far is the sleepiest citizen you've ever met in your life. A citizen so sleepy, you might wake up. But hello, everybody. Now I'm actually looking at chat, not my phone, not opening up a video game. What's going down? Sometimes, you remember this game, Cherry? Sometimes I feel like we're running the same cycle over and over and over again, like especially on the stream, like playing the same video game over and over and over again. But then sometimes I have to remember that we play like a different game every single day. And progress, when you play a variety of games like we do, or like different RPGs every time, it actually takes a while to get anything done. I'm now realizing. And I think at some point, you know, I'm not really the kind of person that goes to the Steam featured page and then just scrolls down to like new and trending and then just picks like a game off the top and then plays that. You know, Super Bomberman got a redo. I didn't even know. You know, there's all kinds of like games up here that would look fun-ish to play. Rogue Factory, The Last Starship, which is an FTL-like, it looks like. Tierscape looks fun. Berry, and Berry is the newest iteration of like, I guess it's a Germa game. Jackal. I saw Northernlion playing a game that I really wanted to take a look at. Not Space Warlord Baby Trading Simulator. That's definitely not my kind of game. I definitely don't want to play that. I mean, I guess the thing is, the kind of games that I like to play and the kind of games that I play on this stream, they're not really games you can pump out like a lot of these other games. You know? like Storage Hunter Simulator. There's no shot like we're playing that on this stream, you know? It just doesn't really work for like the style of game that I post on this channel, you know? And there's all kinds of like roguelites and stuff, and I would like to play more roguelikes on this channel. But I haven't really found like a roguelike that I like really that I'm like, oh, we can definitely play that. Last Spell? No. The Battle of Aranoxia? So I'm not really sure, I guess. Graham posted Poker Night in the suggestions channel, which, you know, thank you, Graham, of course, but not a poker guy, that's the thing. Plants vs. Zombies, always a good suggestion. Garden Warfare 2 Cherry, I have to remember to put that game on the schedule at some point, because I do want to play Garden Warfare. You are absolutely right with that. Graham's the only one who posts in there. He's the only one who gets his stuff seen. That's the thing. Because Graham is the only one who like posts in the suggestion channel. He's like the only person who I can see who's just like, here, play this, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that exists. Let me play that. But we're back again with Citizen Sleeper. Should you make a video about me, Famous? I don't know, man. I guess that's really up to you. I'm not against... I guess I should be clear. I'm not really against people making stuff about me. I like what Kai does. He makes his own stuff and then he shares it in the Discord. Sometimes he advertises a little too hard. But I do like to see the stuff that you guys make. Whether it's about me or not. I do like it when you guys are creative. Hello, Soviet, by the way. Hello, Famous. Hello, Cherry. Hello, Thago. Hello, Evil Larry. Hello, Graham. Is the wizard still kicking? Yeah, getting better. My sinuses are still packed, and it feels like I have poop in my skull. But on the whole, I'm feeling a little better. I think tonight after stream, I'm gonna take a really like warm shower and let the warm air like try and clear up my sinuses. The slop has caught up with me. Citizen Sleeper, no shot. Citizen Sleeper is like a quality game. But yeah, we're back again with the first Citizen Sleeper. I'm honestly ready to start the second Citizen Sleeper. Because the first one is not too bad, I would say. We're on cycle 33 as an operator. I wonder how this... after playing the first Citizen Sleeper for a while, the second Citizen Sleeper seems very promising. Also, Rue Valley seems like it's going on and on and on forever. Not saying I want the game to end because I really like the game, but man, if it doesn't feel like it isn't ending. We are flickering right now, and we don't have any scrap. We need to go to sleep. We need to end the cycle. Maywick is on their way. You'll need to leave the station, get protection, or disable my tracker before they arrive. Self-repair is not really worth it. It is better to just work a job and then get the pill, because it heals a lot more. It is better to just use scrap to, oh my god, I'm fading. I'm already on 3 dice. How much is a pill? A pill is going for 64. Oh, right, because we have the spell. 64 isn't too bad. We gotta work, like, some jobs and stuff. Oh. Lemon Mina have a quest for us. I think we finished up a bunch of quests last time. Rabia's office. That's the Yatagan Lieutenant. I don't remember which job is the best. And we're not hurting on energy right now, so let's go talk to Lemon Mina. Not Citizen Sleeper. It's like a delayed pain. True. 3-hour stream? We'll try and keep it to 2 hours this time. I went 3 hours yesterday because I was like, oh, stuff is happening in Rue Valley and I want to keep it going, you know? Hang on, let me check my phone. I can't believe it's already February, everybody. It is February, right? Yeah. Paid my rent and everything. Jesus. Can't believe I'm still in my... Can't believe they haven't kicked me out of my apartment yet. You lost your entire game project, Graham? Yikes, man. I'm sorry to hear that. That's a pain in the ass. I hope you still have all the art assets and stuff. The crowds have already gathered by the time you get to the shipyard, and you recognize faces among them. People you have worked alongside on the side reel. The intervening cycles have turned their excitement to anxiety, and a few of them smile at you. Instead, the nervous energy of the crowd fills the space, creating a feedback loop of growing tension. You pick out Lem and Mina and work your way over to them, pushing through the crowd. He silently raises his eyebrows at you, his anxiety obvious, but Mina flashes you a huge smile, unaware of the tension. "Robot," she shouts, reaching out to you. Hug her. She gratefully accepts your hug, leaning against your chest, and Lem smiles, seemingly glad to share the weight of Mina for a moment. Quite the turnout, huh? Lem glances around, pulling Mina close. I don't think patience is one of this crowd's strengths. The sound of an argument towards the back catches your and Lem's attention. He's putting it lightly, this place seems set to explode. This isn't good. Lem doesn't dare answer, but the look in his eyes suggests he agrees. This is Aster Anghart of the Salus Foundation, the announcement echoes from the speakers at the shipyard entrance, and shouts of quiet rapidly follow. I'm sorry I can't be there to meet you all, and thank you on behalf of Sendra Celis for the work you have done on the sidereal horizon. Most of the crowd strange to see Aster's face, but the small display shows only a ghostly white figure, smudged and unclear. Sandra wanted me to pass on her personal thanks for your commitment to and belief in the Celis Foundation's mission. We chose the Eye for this project because we knew that we would find like-minded individuals here, especially among the ranks of the venerable Havenage Association. Use the leftover anger to just restart. The boulder is now the player sprite. That's funny, Graham. And what a better way to have a player sprite. Unlike most of the Corps, we neither believe Erlin's Eye to be a threat or a rogue state, but instead an embargo for the formation of a new decentralized social structure. One where each citizen might be the master of their own destiny. A ripple of impatience runs through the crowd. They didn't come here for a sermon. You are all pioneers, just like those core citizens who the Sidereal Horizon will carry, in cryosleep, to the planet that will become the Foundation's first frontier world, Celis 1. At the mention of the destination world, excited conversations break out amongst the workers. There, our citizens will be able to create their own innovative bottom-up economic order, aligned with the principles set down by Sendra Celis herself. Freedom, resilience, and self-sustenance. This is all thanks to your tireless efforts in the Havenage Yards. As a reward for those efforts, you may know that we are offering a select group the opportunity to join the caretakers of this vision. The staff of the Sidereal Horizon who will maintain the vessel during its multi-decade transit through interstellar space. Lem turns to you, his eyes bright. This is it. No more jumping, however, since it's a boulder. That's funny. Well, that makes it simpler. This draw has been performed at random by the central AIs of the Foundation and is final and binding. Please note only licensed contractors of the Foundation are eligible for this draw. I know you have all been eagerly awaiting this day, and without further delay, I will now read the Celis identification numbers of those chosen for this great honor. A murmur runs through the crowd. Celis identification numbers? Licensed contractors? You've never heard the term mentioned. Is this something you were supposed to be assigned? You glance at Lem, but his eyes are fixed forward, wide and shimmering. All around you, people are speaking in hushed tones like a rising wave. Oh, I have a pill. I didn't even notice I had a stabilizer. Aster starts reading out sequences of numbers and letters, and panic begins to set in. No one seems to know what's happening. Somewhere near the front of the crowd, someone shouts in celebration, and everyone pushes forward. Lem? You turn to see Lem still staring forward. Mina is scared now as the shouts start. Daddy? Someone throws something at the entrance and it rattles against the shipyard doors. You see, for the first time, Havenage security stood on either side, scared, arguing between themselves. You feel the anger rising in the crowd. Lem, let's go. He doesn't move. They might call out names. I can't. Mina tugs at his dog tags. It's not happening. Lem blinks rapidly and then turns to you. He opens and closes his mouth, looks down at Mina. He sees the fear in her eyes and understands. It's time to go. You lead Lem and Mina out, shoving people aside. As you do, you hear the sound of the scuffles emerging at the front of the crowd, metal canisters bouncing off the shipyard walls. You keep your head down and walk away, the sound of Aster reading off the ciphers echoing above the chaos like some strange mantra. When you turn to Lem, there are tear tracks running down his cheeks, and Mina sniffling into his jacket. You feel the sadness rising in you too. They screwed you, screwed all of you. You were never even on that list. The feeling is as unpleasant as it is familiar. You stare ahead into the tunnel as the security sirens sound out, a signal for the coming violence. I failed to drive. That's rough. I could do a shift at the Overlook. We still need to get the distillery done. It is an engineering task. I have 3 dice. I don't think I need to do any sneaky stuff. Well, I have 1 Ripper Worm. We do need to open up the Greenway systems. I forgot. Oh, at the Harden agent? I can't even do this. There's a note on the door of the unit. Sleeper, gone to find work. Lem. 3 ticks on that. Maywick is on the way. The Tamber Tea House. The Tavila room is a 24 cryo on a correction, which is pretty good. We could play the exchange for 19 cryo, but we could lose cryo, which is no good. Compressor Club, I don't think has anything for me. Oh, well, is Ethan's debt. Oh, we have to beat Ethan's debt. That's right. We need a job. I guess we're working the Overlook bar. So I'm gonna run the Perfect 6 into the Overlook bar. Well, no. Let's run a 2 into the Overlook bar. I need... Sweet. I was gonna say I needed the energy. We need to build a distillery. Is it more dangerous than paying off this debt? Doesn't look like it. Looks like I win every time. Oh, well, Ethan's debt's almost done. Hey, Deku. Might not even need to read the jungle ever again. Maybe. And then we can keep building this distillery out. Sweet. I guess that's the day. Let's go to sleep. I'm gonna plug up my stabilizer. Excuse me. Oh, that took me to full, even at 3. Crazy. My cycle! My cycle! No, my cycle! 5 dice should go... The 2 extra dice go a long way. I'm not gonna lie, man. The 2 extra dice goes crazy. Let's get some... We also want to do Caster's Table at some point. But 5 data ticks on both is kind of crazy. Alright, I need to buy a sandwich before I do anything today. Oh, 12! Ooh, things are on sale, things are on sale. We'd love to see it. We also need, I think, one more... I think we need this Harden agent, maybe? Can I... Oh, I can fill a 4. There we go. Harden agent port unlocked. Yeah, there we go. And then I think I have, yeah, one more Ripper Worm. Greenway Cipher. Oh, right, the Greenway Cipher is... I have to plug that up on the other side when I get there. And this should be way cheaper, too. 80 creds to get to the other side. Alright, yeah, Feng we gotta talk to. But let me blow these dice. And I want to blow these dice on some things. Definitely not the Heavenage office. The Sidereal Horizon is about to be done. Overlook Bar. We can... Let's not run a perfect the Overlook Bar. Let's do the cheapest one. Sweet. We need to... pay off the debt. So Ethan's debt is done. Hell yeah. Would I rather be fossilized or transferred into a robot? I would rather be transferred into a robot for sure. That sounds cool. I could be a robot. What if Kai was here? I'm curious. They're never gonna release my debt, the shits. Ethan kicks at the locker and the sound rattles loudly around the room. Ethan paces around the small room, swearing to himself. You watch him from the locker room bench. Why not? He spits on the floor. An old habit. They like having sniveling little shits like us to work their club. Saves on the overheads and they get to boss us around. He kicks the locker again and swears. What do we do? Ethan looks at you. You're asking me? That's your problem, sleeper. No ideas of your own. You tie yourself to idiots like me and then are surprised when you get dragged into the shitstorm. I can't do it. I can't spend another shift stopping spacers, bringing nail guns into the club, or pouring endless shops of gear roll for ignorant Heavenage work crews. He looks at the locker again, threatening with a final kick. I mean it. I'm gonna go up there and shoot every single one of the shits. He makes a finger gun. Now hold on. Don't get all excited. I haven't got my gun, remember? He stops spacing. But you know, sleeper, it's not a bad idea you have there. It's a terrible idea. What is it, though? He gives you a look. I don't mean shooting up the place. I mean getting the gun. He sits beside you on the bench. Think about it. What am I supposed to do when Maywick gets here? Shout him down? I need that gun if you want me to keep up my end of the deal. It's simple. An explosive personality for a distraction at the front. He places a hand on his own chest. A sneaky sleeper to go into the back. He pats your chest. What about the dead? We've done our time, and the wounds, they've faded. If they don't notice us take the gun, they'll never know it's gone. Plus, he stands up, after my distraction, they'll be happy to see the back of me. Or they'll want you dead even more. Either works, or at least I'd never have to see the inside of this shithole again. He gives the locker one last kick for good luck. Let me know if you want to do this. Then we both move as one and meet up at the Bright Market after. But don't take too long or I will shoot this place up. He grins. You know I'll do it. Bright Market. Meet me at the Cum Market. Alright. I think we already spent on the build the distill, so I definitely want to get some money. Alright, packing up some cash, dude. The Bright Market up top? We gotta contact Feng as well. Nope. We also need to pay Bliss at some point. It's 100 credits though. 80 credits for seed money. That's too much. And I need to get another pill, which I think is 80 credits. $64, just kidding. I just don't, there's just no money anywhere, man. Hello, Feng. What if there was a Roblox Revolutionary War? Dang. Hello, Neon. Haven't been feeling the best today? I'm sorry to hear that, man. As you walk into the timbre, you quickly spot Feng arguing with Jenna. You come behind Feng and he turns and notices you. Jenna stops mid-tirade as you arrive. She turns to you. You again? You here to vouch for this layabout? Stay silent. Your silence feels long in the echoey timbre. Feng starts to speak, but Jenna cuts him off. Forget about it. You're done, Feng. Jenna turns on her heel and walks away to the bar. Feng turns to you. Could have done with you getting here a minute or so ago. He glances back at Jenna. Well, either way, it looks like I'm fired. Good news is that it doesn't look like I need the job anyway. He takes out his slate, pulsing with pale light. Now let's take a look at what you're really here for. The slate is a worrying mess of code streams coming directly from the Ripper Worms as they dig through the agent's data and spin it into threads on the slate to pick up. Looks like junk. Mostly is. Ah, I'm sorry to hear that, Neon. A lot of junk. A lot of dull as hell message threads. A lot of tedious data caches, but Feng's eyes flash. Definitely some good stuff. He stops the screen scrolling on an entry and expands it. Check this out. Feng shows you the screen. You see a bold corporate logo, not Solheim's, and a word below. Conway, Feng says. He's working with Conway. Conway Extractions? Feng nods. He's been speaking with them personally. Got a whole chain of messages here, but it's mostly encrypted or redacted. He rubs his head. Damn, this is juicy, but we can't nail him with it. He scrolls with some more. Wait. What's this? A wasteland reclamation facility right here on the eye. He glances at you. What's the bet this place is tucked into the wastes? The wastes? It's the section of the eye Erlen couldn't reclaim. It was too damaged, too cut off. Back before the collapse, people would have got there by going down the connected spoke from the hub, but that spoke's broken now, so the only way is the long way, round the rim, past the green way. He shows you on his slate. Feng looks away, thinking, Conway have been making moves on this system since the collapse. I heard they took over one of the Solheim's old belt colonies a while ago, moved everyone out and reclaimed the whole rock. Why work with Harden? Access? Old connections? Not sure. Feng looks back at the screen. But if Harden is involved in it, then we need to check it out. Simple as that. So what's next? Feng stares out to the middle distance. We have to get to that facility. The answer to whatever Harden has been prepping, been planning, has to be there, and we are going to catch him in the act. Give me 5, maybe 6 cycles, and I'll see you in the Greenway. I seem to remember there's some old service docks on the outer shell, up by Haifa building. Should be a good place to meet. Feng squeezes your shoulder. Thanks again, Sleeper, for sticking with this. I haven't forgotten about the tracker of yours either, but I'm gonna need to be back in my bay to pull the solution together. He turns the slate around to face you, showing a massive scrolling code. I've been working on fixing my brakes. He winks. Feng's grins. See you soon, Sleeper, and he walks out the door of the Timbre without looking back. I gotta drive. There's that, at least. I got 1 point. I should get the extra intuition point. Agent nodes give double data rewards, isn't too bad. Keep 2 dice even when condition is breaking. Reroll all of your dice once per cycle. Ah, jeez. I'll take the extra intuition point. And then we can start double spending. And the extra skills. Alright, I need to go to sleepy sleep. Hello, Troncat. How would I take being called a sleeper? I'm kind of sleepy coded. Oh my god, I wish I could reroll my dice, dude. Look at this, look at these rolls. Oh, scrap freighters here. Let's see. Buy some scrap, unload the containers. Ooh, I would like to buy scrap for sure. 16? I might be able to sell it for more than 16. Please don't kill me. Thank you. Oh, and I got random scrap! Yes, dude. Selling that shit on the exchange is so precious to me. How much do I get? 12 cryo. I see. 12 shits. So I can't buy it for any more than I... But it's not always scrap. Sometimes it's a mind fragment, and that's a good way to get some money for sure. Alright, we already spent on the distillery. So, we have a job to do, and I think that's it? Oh, we have to grab the gun. That's kind of scary. I'll take it. I'll take the chance. Oh, that's bad. You run down the stairs 2 at a time, crashing past the doorman as he comes up. The gun is in your pocket and you're running. Running the only way out of this place, down the main stairs into the club. When you get there, you see Ethan immediately. At first, you don't understand what has happened, but then you see it. The blinking grenade in his hand. Everyone is frozen, everyone is shouting. You catch his eye and he raises an eyebrow. You slow down, you come down the stairs and push through the crowd. You slip along the bar, staying away from Ethan. Then you see them, club security, pushing through the crowd, closing on Ethan. He sees them too, he looks at you, and then he throws the grenade. You run hard, pushing past people in a panic, rushing for the door. You tumble out with the crowd, lost in the chaos, and keep running. You don't stop until you get to the place where you were supposed to meet. You don't think you hear an explosion. Ethan gets there moments later, laughing out of breath. Did you blow the place up? He's doubled over with laughter. Don't be stupid, it was a fake. He straightens up. You should have seen their faces. I wish. You got it? I got the gun. You lift it out of your pocket, and it's colder, heavier than you expected. Ethan watches you take it out. Nice. Now if you would, he beckons with his hand. A memory jumps into your mind of Ethan in the compressor, hand out, asking for his gun back. A memory followed by the memory of a sharp, dizzying pain. You flinch. I give him his gun. I don't mind giving him his gun. For thinking of my heavy TF2 loadout? That's how sleepy I am. Ethan eagerly grabs it and looks down the sight. He sighs a sigh of relief. Then he meets your eye and slowly raises the gun until it's pointing directly at your head. Don't. You still don't get it, do you, Sleeper? Ethan spits. When they canceled that contract, I lost everything. My reputation, my payout, any way of getting off this shitty station. Everything. All I had left was you, he grins. A naive little sleeper with a heart of gold. I couldn't believe it worked, he laughed, and now we are done. Stay silent. He slides his slate out of his jacket pocket with his other hand. Now to call Maywick. You crazy? You are crazy, Sleeper, for thinking I'd kill one of my own for you. For what? Helping me wash dishes? He laughs long and loud, and you hate him for it. He prods the slate. Done. He puts it away. He's here, you know, on the station. I've been speaking with him. He tells me we could split the contract. Not 50-50, but enough of a finder's fee that I can get out of this shithole. He's lying. At this point, Sleeper, I'm not sure. You are the one who I'd trust to spot a lie, he winks. Ethan glances around. I've learned one thing from you, though, Sleeper. In all our cycles working in that shitty club, he smiles, people never know when to cut and run. It's like they freeze in the headlights when the future is bearing down on them. They watch it coming, watch their death flying in a fraction drive speed. You had every chance and yet you still kept on going. Like some idiot robot going through the motions, even when you knew you'd be crushed, he smirks. And let me tell you something. The shot enters through his upper back and he crumples immediately to the ground. You drop too, without thinking, pressing yourself to the walkway floor like it might save you. Silence. You look up and see him coming down the walkway, silent eyes alight. Maywick. You freeze in fear. Here it comes. You see it, just by Ethan's crumpled body, the gun. Time to move. You can't. Time to move again. You inch forward. Move it. You go for it. At least this did not end up with shooting yourself in the head with the lieutenant's gun. There will never be an RPG where we don't get shot, so I might as well run for the bullets. You run forward and a shot sounds out. You feel it ripple over your back. Then your hands are on the gun and you scramble to your knees behind Ethan's body and fire. You close your eyes, you fire again and again and again until the clip is empty and all that left are clicks. Then you drop the gun and stand up. You don't hear anybody running. You don't hear anything. You just hear the sound of your own breath. You start walking, stepping over Ethan's static body, walking along the walkway and then past Maywick, his eyes now dark, some mechanical fluid leaking from his chest. Perhaps the same fluid that's inside you. You try not to think about it, you keep going and the sound comes back. The eye comes back. And as it does, you hear the sound of thousands of people getting on with their lives. Thousands of people who are just going to keep going until they can't anymore. You look up and all you see are the wheeling stars. They're spinning and you are suddenly dizzy. Though the eye has always spun like this, hasn't it? And you don't stop walking, you keep going. That's all there is now, the path forward. S and ARP have left you no history, no past to speak of, just a void that threatens to swallow you if you slow down. You think of Ethan's smile, his voice, and feel sick. Is it over? You aren't sure it ever can be, but you're still here, and you can't stop now. There has to be a better end than this. Well, a few more chits. Witness a lifetime of bad decision making. Holy shit, dude. Well, we got an upgrade point that we can't use. That one's over. Don't have to worry about all that anymore. But I think Maywick is still on the hunt, so... Oh, get me out of this one. Jesus. Did I spend on build the still? I spent on 2 things, but I don't know what. Alright, we gotta work, dude. We're probably just gonna spend all this on the bar shift. Yeah, even if we do take damage, we need the chits. We need the shits, man. Oh, and I get energy back if I succeed. Let's chill. Alright, let's spend the rest of these credits on some cheap scrap. If we get the parts, we can just sell them. And get a little bit of money back. But sometimes we get a whole fabricator, so it's chill. Alright. Happens to the best of us, I guess. Or I can hold on to the scrap for a while, see how it goes. How deep the Disco Elysium has settled in my brain? True. You awake from dreams of Maywick's amber eyes floating in a pool of dark fluid. It was difficult to get to sleep, and you suspect that isn't about to change anytime soon. Not after what happened. You also feel something else as you get up. Thumb the power stud of the stove and begin to boil the water, like every morning. You feel something is lifted, something that has been hanging over you since you arrived on this station. Try not to think too hard about it, to question it. You just let the lightness stay. Let it settle as you go through your routines. Your hope is that if you don't focus on it, don't look at it directly, it won't get scared and leave. Then the lightness will stay, for this cycle, and then another, and then another. So after all that's happened, a little lightness would be nice. Feed the stray, 20% off feeding the stray, it's very funny. Let's get a sandwich. I don't have very many credits left, but... I don't have any credits left. Actually, Lem and Mina have something for me. Well, it's gone. There it goes. Let's do Lem and Mina first, since I've got full of stats. There's no answer when you buzz Lem's unit, but the door is open. You push the door and find Mina, sitting in the middle of the floor playing with Bun Bun. Hi, Mina. Hi, Robot, says Mina sullenly, waving Bun Bun's paw without looking. How are you? Bun Bun is sad, says Mina, nodding the toy's head in agreement, like Daddy. You look around the unit, it's a mess. Dishes and glasses on the side, some of Mina's clothes piled up in the corner. Mina's sitting by her bag, which is spilled out across the floor, her drawing slate cracked and dark. Kinda tidy up. You start with the kitchen units, piling up the dishes in the auto wash and wiping them down. You pile the clothes up next, folding them neatly. Mina watches you quietly as she plays, curious but silent. You just started to look at fixing her cracked slate when Lem enters. Sleeper, what are you? He pauses and looks from you to Mina and back again. Never mind. He drops a bag by the door and slumps onto the couch. Breathing okay? Lem lets out a weak laugh. You forget the past few cycles now, too? Wish I was so lucky. He looks away at the open door. Look, now's not a good time. What happened? What happened? We messed up. That's what happened. We put our hopes in someone else's stupid scheme. He pinches the bridge of his nose. You understand they never even put us on the list, right? I've been all around the rim looking for work, and I've run into more than a few from the crews. It turns out only longtime Heavenage members were issued those Celis ID numbers. They never even planned on considering us. Heavenage say they didn't know that was what they were going to use to make the draw, and who knows? Maybe Celis pulled the wool over their eyes. But what does it matter? All those hours in the yards, for a hand-to-mouth wage and nothing else. He slams his hand down on the sofa. You're giving up? Lem opens his mouth to respond, but stops himself. He looks at the door again. They're moving the side reel up the hub now, you know, he says without meeting your eye. That's where it'll depart from. They're bringing in a ship with all their cryo-sleep pioneers and transferring them up there in microgravity before loading the crew. We could sneak aboard. We could steal a ticket. There's no tickets. I was joking before. Just those ID numbers coded to someone's identity. No stealing that. He looks over at Mina. Look, we'll be fine. We always have been. I just need a little time, he sighs. We had our hearts set on that trip, is all. Mina comes over and climbs into his lap. He smiles. What if I got you on board? I missed you these past cycles. I missed that optimism. Lem strokes Mina's hair. Look, you want to go to the hub and ask around, be my guest. I can't get up there with Mina down here, and I'm sure the side reel will bring in a crowd, but be careful. This kind of thing always attracts scammers and thieves. You find a way on board, you take it. You need help to get there? Ask me. But for now, me and me here are sticking to the eye. She looks up at him and smiles. Thanks, Lem. No thank you, Sleeper, for coming by. You stand to leave and Mina grabs your hand, eager to give you one more smile. Then you're out, back in the walkways of the low end, already thinking of plans to make this right. Indeed. I bet you I can get him on there. I bet you I could get him there, up there on that colony ship. They want to be so bad. That's the side reel dock. Scout the dock. Away aboard, minus energy. Alright, well, let's hit it. Being loaded and prepped along the commotion, it's possible to find a way aboard. Maybe. Maybe. Nah, I gotta sell all this scrap, man. I can't hold on to it. At the Ort Exchange. At the Ort Exchange. Gotta get my money back. Gotta get my money up instead of my funny up. What else? We need to work at the bar. We need to get the distillery at the bar up and running. We can hit it with a full 5. Ah, so close to completing the distillery. Ooh, rolling in shits. My energy! Not a good song. I can actually get energy from working the job, so we don't actually need to stress too much about buying food right now. Alright, let's ascend the car. I should use the perfect on the side rail dock, but I'm just gonna hit it with a 3 to 4. Probably the same thing for the distillery. I'll blow like the 2 or the 3 on the distillery. Probably blow the 2 on the distillery. Eeeeee! Whoa! And then go full 6 onto the bar shift. Boom! And then I get energy back. Sweet. Oh, 116 shits, you say? 116 shits, you say? One more cycle, we'll be able to invest, or we could go across the gap. Whichever. I think I'll invest first. Let's see. Things to do. Let's ascend. We have a pill, so I'm not too worried about that. Let's invest. It's seed money into Bliss's Bay. A scam or an opportunity? Bliss is incredibly grateful. I'll pay you back every chit, I promise you. You guess you two are partners now. Indeed. Buy into the hub's competitive repair market. Awful. Bliss is bidding on jobs at the hub. It'll take a few cycles and some perseverance before she comes in. Not a problem. I'm gonna invest the low dice. Hope I don't die. Oh, double way aboard. Hell yeah. Alright, let's head back down. Not gonna buy lunch just yet. I will use my low-end dice for that, because I think I get a tick of energy from this. Ooh, not this time. Maybe this guy will give me some energy. If I don't get an energy, there we go. That works. Alright, and then we can complete the distillery. Hell yeah. Alright. I'm not sure Tala knows what she's doing, but she is a hard person to say no to, so it looks like you gotta get building this thing. Hell yeah, we completed the bar, lads. We completed the bar. Tala stands back from the newly finished still and tub, hands on hips. Look at this, she grins, the overlooked distillery in all its glory. She squeezes you around the shoulders. Oh, thank you. Hang on, I gotta look at my funny phone. What's next? There is an issue. What's the problem? Well, Girol the drink, as you probably guessed, is named after Girol the mushroom. That's what gives it its golden color and earthy taste. The alcohol is infused with the mushrooms along with a mix of spices. That means you need Girol caps to make Girol, but no one wants to supply us. The distilleries on the Greenway are taking all the stock from the farms out there, so it's hard to get a single cap across Founder's Gap. However, I have an idea. We can grow our Girol caps here. She gestures at the increasingly equipment-filled back room. I can bring you mushrooms. Tala gives you a pitying look. Where's your vision? Any outside supplier means they take a cut. Okay, maybe not you, but someone, somewhere takes a cut. Tala puts a hand on the still. We made a still, we set all this up. How hard can growing mushrooms be? They don't need light, they barely need soil. We can do this, she pauses. Or at least we could, if we had something to grow them from. Like spores? Exactly. Suddenly you feel like you've walked into a trap, and you are the perfect person to get me those spores. She nods rapidly. Think about it. You built the still. You're great with plants. You know the eye like the back of your hand. Need I go on? Half of that isn't even true. Ever been confused as a child at a bar? I've never been into a bar, actually. There's not really anything at a bar for me. Don't be so modest, she pats you on the shoulder. Look, I can't leave the bar and the other people are picking up shifts, she grimaces. I'm saying it has to be you. Alright. Wonderful. You'll love it over there in the Greenway, I think. All the fresh air, open space. She sees your expression. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. She turns back to look at the still and the fledgling distillery forming around it. It really is something, though, isn't it? And want to or not, you really have to agree. How much do I need to give her? I need to give her 1 spore. 3 spores. Alright, well, we gotta pay for... Well, first we gotta pay for a ticket to get across the Greenway. Do I lose energy from sleeping? I don't remember. Well, let's take a chance. Since we've been non-stop working bars at the shift, I'm fucking starving, brother! Let's go get a fucking sandwich, man. 12 shits. Damn, dude. That's cheap. That's cheap prices. Yummy, yummy. Okay. So... the 2 things we have to do is... sneak into the side reel dock. Boom. Done. You watch the loading crews going back and forth, noting their paths and entryways. Could this work? Quite the achievement, isn't she? Sandra Celis must be proud. You recognize the resonating voice of Castor immediately and turn to see him, hooded and tucked into the shadows near the viewing platform. Castor. I see you remember our game. Good. He looks around, but the platform's clear. I'm afraid you'll have to wait for a rematch. Microgravity makes Tavala a bit difficult. He smiles broadly. Castor walks out to stand beside you on the platform. The telltale clunk of magnetic boots accompanies his slow crossing. He notices you looking at them. I don't much like it up here, he explains. I hear there's some trouble at the Heavenage shipyard when they announced the results of the crew lottery. I was there. I know, he sighs, meeting your eye. An ugly business. Celis are too used to the way things work in the core. Exploitation is the only logic they know. He gestures out of the side reel. You know why they built this monstrosity on the Eye? Control? Certainly, there's no corporate oversight out here, but that's not all. He stares at the pristine yellow hole. Celis built it here, says Castor gravely, because they didn't want anyone to know it exists. He rubs his forehead. And secrecy is something I cannot abide. He turns his face to you. There are people being loaded onto that ship as we speak. Sleeping people, locked in cryosleep like the person that you were emulated from. There are hundreds of them, and Celis wants to send them out to a planet at the edge of the settled systems without anybody knowing where it is. But you, Sleeper, can do something about that. You're like me. You deal with data. You can read it right out of the air. With someone like you on the ship, secrecy isn't a problem. You can ping back whatever I need, whenever I need it, as long as you're aboard. With you on the side reel, and with some minor modifications, he pauses, you can be my eyes and ears, and we'll keep track of Celis' grand project through you. In short, says Castor, stretching, I can get you aboard, Sleeper, but I'm gonna need you to help me. Who are you? I'm a concerned party, someone who likes to know what is happening when it is happening, not afterwards. It's not just me. Yes, your friend Len. That can be arranged. It is difficult, but not impossible. The condition is, of course, that you go too. Castor clunks closer to the window, watching the tugs wheeling around the side reel. It's a simple offer, and the only one that will get you on that ship. Please consider it. He turns back silhouetted against the ship. But to make it happen, I need your assistance, as I said. There is a Celis Foundation ship docked in the now empty shipyard. I need the data from its servers. This will allow me to produce an IDs necessary for your transit. Castor looks over his glasses at you. Celis aren't stupid, though. Their ship is totally isolated from the station. You'll need to get on board if you want access to their air-walled servers. Once you got the data, meet me at the friend's unit so we can give them the good news. He smiles. I noticed his importance to you, and the little one. So cute. You don't extract the data before the sidereal horizon leaves the hub, then I will get you the message. And I will get the message. We have other options, but you are certainly my preferred one. But be sure when you act, Sleeper, once you take the data from Celis, you'll set off a series of events that will likely be hard for you to untangle yourself from. Either way, I recommend you stop asking around up here. You're bringing a lot of attention to yourself. Castor glances around, as if to emphasize his point. There are only a handful of cycles until departure, Sleeper. Make your decision. With that, Castor marches back off the platform, the sound of his mag boots fading away, leaving you to contemplate the sidereal horizon and the part it may play in your future. In several cycles, the sidereal horizon will set out. You will either be aboard it, or you will not. Probably something tells me I'm not gonna be aboard that ship. Buddy, I am fucking flickering. Alright, that's that. The only thing we need to do now is get across the gap. And we gotta save up money for that. So it's time for some bar shifts, brother. Alright, I guess we sleep and then hit it tomorrow. They didn't let you enter, Frosty? I'm sorry to hear that. Seen a lot of young adults walk into a bar just to leave baffled since they look like teenagers. Very funny. Alright, let's hop the gap, folks. Pay for passage. 80 credits is so much, dude! 80 credits is so much! Heavily tattooed spacer takes your chits and tells you to prepare. She'll be waiting at the edge for your arrival. Please tell me I only have to buy that once. Take the ferry across Founder's Gap to the Greenway. We did it! We into Greenway. As you step out into the passageway, someone barrels into you from behind, sending you stumbling down the corridor. You turn to see an unfamiliar spacer, laden with heavy gear. She steadies herself, staring you down as if daring you to respond. Sorry. She adjusts a strap on her shoulder, holding up a hand in recognition before setting off down the corridor. I'm sorry for her. A second spacer smiles at you apologetically. She's on a mission, and when she's on a mission, they shrug. Not a problem. They smile. You're sweet. Peek! Esh stands further down the corridor, glowering at her friend. She chops at the air, pointing down the corridor to wherever end she is rushing to. Peek raises their eyebrows at you. Esh, please. Do you want everyone on this station to hate us? Esh hardens. They want to hate us. They can hate us. She drops her hip. I'm not exactly seeing much love as it is. We're lucky we got through before they set up that damn cordon. Cordon? Peek gestures in your direction. See, they don't even know what you're talking about. This station isn't Hawthorne. Not everyone has to follow some corporate protocol. Esh sighs. I'm not saying they're part of the administration, she jerks her head in your direction, but I am saying we need to get some supplies to the Briar before someone starts asking questions. Can I help? Peek smiles slyly. See, Esh, help. Isn't that exactly what we need right now? Peek, Esh rolls her eyes. Peek ignores her. We are with the refugees, the ones Heavenage has cordoned off from entering the station. Esh interrupts. The ones that are being quarantined in makeshift vessels that barely made it to the eye to begin with. The ones that your station administrators have called an existential risk and are running out of supplies while their right to safety is being debated by people with no stake in their future. She quickly looks away, annoyed at her own outburst. Peek sighs. She's right. People are trapped out there, and they turn to Esh. We understand that this is a big problem for the Eye. Hundreds of refugees and more ships turning up each cycle. They hold up a hand to stop Esh interrupting, but... Esh turns away, her burning anger a palpable force in the close quarters of the corridor. They need supplies, and after everything they've been through, the quarantine isn't helping. Peek finishes. That's difficult. Peek forces a smile. Peek, please. Esh gathers herself on the supplies. Esh, we need help, just like the refugees needed us. We need others too. They smile at her. Peek turns to you. Come find us. The climbing Briar is docked at the Broken Spoke past the Greenway and the Wastes. We have a good view of the cordon, though we are keeping our distance for now. Come help us. They squeeze your hand. Esh turns to leave, and Peek follows, waving goodbye. A moment later, Esh shouts back down the corridor. Don't bother coming empty-handed. You want to help? Show us. Bring supplies or don't come at all. And with that, they disappear around the corner, Esh already picking up speed as Peek calls her to slow down. A refugee flotilla? Where are they coming from, and why now? Each time you think you begin to understand this place, something changes. And here we are, everybody. Welcome to the Greenway. It seems to fucking go on for fucking ever. And this way takes me to somewhere. Valentine's Day gifts. I'm gonna be making chocolate on Valentine's Day. The Wastes. Ruined agricultural system. Wild margins, artificial wilderness. Haifa commune, self-sustaining community. Fang, Heavenage systems engineer. The Greenway, an overgrown biosphere. And this one goes back to Founder's Ferry, the Rim Transit. Take the ferry across the Founder's Gap. Well, let's take a look. I don't know. Let's get started, I guess. Hit the greenway. We can walk the greenway, eventually we're gonna learn, or we can map the pathways. Rather than simply thrash through the undergrowth, you might sketch a map of this overgrown jungle to try and better navigate the hazards. Simplest way to explore the greenway is to simply pick a path and set off into its twisting chambers and passages. This carries obvious risks. I'm gonna hit that with a 3. I fucking failed it. Jesus, dude. Well, we could hit Feng, or we could go to the Haifa Commune. We could work the canteen. That'll give us a Haifa membership. Or we could work the grow beds. Well, we've only got so many dice and a lot to explore. Tracking Ashton. We eventually gotta track him. Or we can hit the wastes. Gather scrap from the wastes. That'll degrade my condition, though. Interesting. That might be a good way to make some money. Climbing the Briar. Escaped XPR ship. Which I believe is another load. But let's hit Feng first. A cooking stream? Not anytime soon. I don't really feel like doing something like that. How old am I? 27. When you enter the service dock, Feng is already set up. Crouched among the stacks of equipment, he is leaning over a terminal bathed in a blue glow. He looks totally at home. Sleeper, what do you think? Turns out not everybody in Heavenage is set against me. A couple of my old systems pals managed to ship me some of my old gear. He gestures at the pile of blinking hardware. It's a nice kit, brother. Feng does a mock bow. Any updates? Feng beckons you over. He's set up the scans of the wastes on his terminal with heat maps of activity overlaid. A chunk of the derelict rim is blotchy with bright red and orange markers. Does this look like a wasteland to you? Feng shakes his head. There's hundreds of Conway machines out there, all lined up in concealed hangars, and a whole underground facility support them. Hardin got his crew out there putting them together. They must have shipped them piece by piece through the shipyard, ready for assembly out here. Why? They were planning something. No one needs hundreds of heavy-duty reclamation drones to run this kind of operation. Maybe Hardin masked this whole thing as an effort to clean up the wastes, but there's no way this is about pulling scrap off the eye. Feng looks worried. And why is Conway in the mix? I bet no one at Heavenage knows another corporation is setting up in the station. They're not stupid either. These scans are the best info I can get. The wastes are cut off from the eye's cloud of networks, and the greenway is a total dark zone. No data in or out. I could try. No use. You enter the cloud, there's no cloud to speak of. He turns and winks. That's why I'm gonna pay him a visit. How? You forget. Heavenage come in and out of there all cycle. I should be able to get in, as long as no one I know sees me. He grimaces playfully. But I need you on the outside to help disable security systems and cut me a pathway through. There's no cloud access, but if I can get inside, I can open up nodes in their network, and we can work in tandem. It's a massive facility buried deep down there, miles of corridor and ventways wrapped around cargo bays and hangars. So it'll take more than a few cycles to work through it, but as long as you can keep them off my back, I know I can rip what we need out of there. He pulls a handful of ripper worms from his pocket and hands them to you. These are the last of my little helpers I managed to salvage to make them count. So make them count. I modified them slightly, so this time they'll feed their data threads back into the system that they are tunneling into, creating a nasty little feedback loop. We run it just like we did it with the agents. Hack the nodes, I ping the locate ports for the security system, then slot the worms in those systems and let them go to town. He points to a fuzzy silhouette of buried facility on the terminal. Here's the entryway. This is where you can get access and slot the first worm. That'll fry their perimeter systems and get me past the first core. What I need from you is to keep your eyes on the facility after you kick things off. You see me pop up a security system, a server bank. You need to break in and slot a ripper to disable it as soon as you can. If I can't, Feng gives you a hard look. You miss a system, you wait too long, they're gonna find me. Simple as that. He claps you on the shoulder. I need you to focus on this one, so I'm gonna let you fire the starting gun. I won't go until you slot the first worm. I'll leave a tracker running on the terminal here, so come back here if you want to see the progress. He affectionately pats you on top of the screen. Got it. Don't worry, you can run rings around the protocols. I've seen it. Feng gets up. It's all in place. You just need to make your own preparations, then slot the worms. He stretches. Just don't wait too long. I'm getting bored of all this sneaking around. Once I'm inside, I'll get the proof we need to end this whole thing, no matter what. He crouches to check the terminal. We can't take longer than 6 cycles on this thing, remember that. Oh, and one last thing. If I get caught, or you can't reach me, or we run out of time, there's one thing I need you to do. What? You take whatever I have managed to pull at that point, all the data, and you slot that stuff straight into the relay I've set up here. He points to a pile of servers and terminals, hooked up into the dock with cables as thick as your arm. I've repurposed the dock's SOS broadcast system to beam out whatever you put in it. Anyone with a terminal, a slate, or a server on the eye will see it. That means Heavenage, Yatagan, the hub, everybody. No matter what, Harden isn't sneaking away this time. He grins. I got a bit more to do here, but the moment you slot the first worm, I'll make my move. He gives you a parting smile and turns back to the terminal. The nerves hit you as you make your way to the service dock. Time to prepare yourself. Yeah, we're not going to hit that just yet. That's a bit testy. The Haifa commune, the wild margins. Look for the tracks. We're still tracking Ashton. Singing stream? Maybe. The wastes, we can gather scrap, not much to do there. And climbing the Briar. Welcome to Episode Flux. It is the first of 3 episodic updates to Citizen Sleeper, telling the story of the refugee flotilla which has arrived at the Eye. This must be like DLC. All 3 episodes, Flux, Refuge, and Purge, are now available. Completing the supply gear roll action will begin the episode, but be aware that it is intended for late game play. Supply gear rolls. We need gear rolls first. That's, I believe, the DLC. I'm gonna go buy a sandwich before I keep doing studying and shit. We still gotta get more gear roll for Emphas. He could probably make something wicked tasty with it, for sure. We definitely need to work the job, but I think I do want to spend more dice on exploration. We are going to start with the Greenway, though. I'm gonna blow the 4 dice on mapping the pathways, I think. Oh, only 1 tick. And then these last 2, I'm gonna go work at the bar. We don't have to work this job yet, right? And then I don't know what to do here. There's no hack or anything. I don't know what to do at all there. I think do I need to turn stuff into Caster? I haven't been to Caster's table in a while. Guess not. Crack the Conway, disable the tracker, enter the Greenway, escape the side reel. Steal Cella's data. Steal Cella's data. Spend time as a Yatagan enforcer? Maybe. Might do that. Not sure I want to, though. The Greenway Cipher. Where do we slot that in? There's the Greenway Gate. Conway access. That's the Ripper Worm. We don't want to do that yet. We need energy for that. The Greenway Gate, I believe, is... The entire Greenway is locked down, shrouded in a dark cloud of shifting currents. What's happening? Let's find out. The cipher burns away as it's slotted, the data sparking like a lit touch paper. What has been unlocked? The Greenway broils beneath you like a slit-choked river. If what Navigator said was true, then no one has accessed these networks since the collapse. The Hunter and Killer protocols have never set foot here, never cleared out the intelligences and systems. So why, then, you wonder, does it look so dark? Is it just the bit rot has set in? The entropy of systems reducing everything to shadows and light? You watch as the slotted cipher fizzles in the one open, distorted gateway in this entire rim of a station. It flickers, winks out, and then you're falling into the flow. A river of swirling darkness. You're spun by it, twisted by it, lost in it. It's not that the Greenway was hiding in the darkness. It's made of darkness. It's filled by this substance, this process, this swarm. Now you're among it. You notice that the swarm is exactly what it is. 1 billion individuals moving in a flow. There's no network map here, no nodes and threads, only a storm of interchangeable points, shifting configuration endlessly. Then you see him, a figure, turned away, the only bright spot in the dark river. You push closer through the storm. They are facing away. At least you think so. They are so fractured, so overgrown that it's hard to tell, even from this distance. You can see their flesh is moving, flowing. You watch in silence as they stoop and reach down, and their hand is a dark shape, and with twisted fingers they press it down into the loam of data beneath them, pushing it through this trembling soil. Then they move away, go a little further, and repeat the process as if they were sowing a field. You push forward, but somehow, despite their slow and deliberate speed, they move faster, and they quickly fade into the storm. You reach the point where they planted the object and look down. There it is, a glassy, shifting polygon with something inside. You reach down and pick it up. It's cold, but it thrums with energy. You look toward the path of the figure, but they're long gone. When you blink out of the cloud, back to the leaves and the dappled light of the greenway, you hold the seed in your hand. That's it? I run a cipher and... The gardener's seed. A seed. You need to find somewhere safe to plant this gift. Indeed. Indeed I do. Tamber Tea House, I don't think... We can do the Tavla room now. It's expensive. Rabia's office. I guess we can... collect tithes. All risky, huh? Well... I'm a Yatagan insider, brother. They gave me 4 fucking Ripper Worms for that. What a sicko. Doesn't look like I can plant it here. I wonder where I can plant this. Excuse me. I'm down to 3 dice. We'll have to pill up next run. Oh, hello, Moritz. Bliss's assistant. Hey! A quiet voice greets you as you leave. Sleeper, it's me. Oh? Moritz, he pauses. I work for Bliss. He rubs the back of his head. You are not an easy person to find. I move around. Moritz holds up his hands. Hey, no judgment, it's cool. You both stand there for a moment, each waiting for the other to speak. What's up? Hey, well, Bliss needs you. A job just came in, a real big one. She's asking for you to come up and help her out. Oh, okay. I'll be right there. Nice, yeah. Moritz stands there for a little while, unsure if the message is delivered. I got it. Cool, cool, cool. He looks around. Bliss just likes me to do a thorough job, you know? He rubs his hands together before burying them in his jacket pockets. See you, Sleeper. Moritz ambles down the corridor, kicking up a filter cap on his way out. Time to head to Bliss's Bay. Alright, we have a lot of time-sensitive activities to get done. Let's check out the Merchant Freighter. We could buy a ship mine fragment, that's not happening. Or we could haggle over the prices and get a ship mine fragment discount. No shot. I don't need it that badly, if at all. Whoa! Bluff past security. I wish I didn't have 3 fucking dice. If security get wise, potential breach. That's the negative side. I've got enough food for some energy. I'm gonna need food. I'm gonna need money for some pills, though. By pretending to work there. Ooh. Only 3 dice, huh? That's rough. Not working a job today. And then I don't... Oh? Oh, okay, I get it. We gotta crack open that little ship. Where's my girl? Ember's Wake, the malfunctioning fuel tanker. Ah, very good. Sealing the leaks? Sealing the leaks a lot, but condition is bad. The Ember Wake's contract is in 3 ticks. Somehow Bliss swung a tanker contract, but the catch is that the work needs to be turned around fast. Fuck you. Alright, well, let's seal these leaks. Brilliant, dangerous. Oh, ooh, that was a good tick, though. Alright, let's go to the other side. We need to do some of these. Climbing the Briars, the latest one. We gotta hit that off at some point. And I'm still scouting the Greenway. I can lose condition this time, actually. I don't mind. Because I'm about to pill up. Bleh. Alright, let's fucking go home, dude. Jesus. Now we're really busy. Now we're super duper busy, dude. And we're not making any money. And I'm starving. No. And I would eventually like to get Emphasis Grail Fricassee. Oh, we can only do that one once. Okay. Here, have my risky dice. That's good. I would like to go do more Yatagan jobs as well. We gotta complete this job for sure. I'm gonna roll a perfect on it. That only gets me 2 ticks. That's annoying. But I think I can roll 1 more. Let's descend the rim and then go across. Farm stacks, vertical farms. Steal the harvest, thief. That gives me a lot of energy. So load it, work the stacks. That's a constant, and it's safe, which is nice. Barter for food is 13 shits. Working the stacks might be a good job. We'll run the Greenway. Cool. And then with these last 2 dice... Oh, the Mushroom Groves! +2 Grove Spores, +1 Girl Caps. I do... want the Girl Cap. I got energy, which is nice. But I did not get the Girl Cap. Which is frustrating. We'll run 1 more full after this. I will run this dice into the work stack. Sweet! Alright, excellent. And then we'll go across. And then we'll start slotting in the Ripper Worms, I think. This cycle, this upcoming cycle. Way, dude! Now it's tough. Oh my god, awful rolls. Awful, awful rolls. Roll me the 3 tick. Sweet, Celis infiltration is done. Now we are in the Celis servers. 53 cryo and Celis data. Wow, that's pretty good. Maybe I'll do that instead of working if I pass it. Celis data and 5 cryo. Well. Alright, let's go complete this job. We also need to talk to Castor, apparently. Ascender the car. Alright, let's complete this job, hopefully. Hoping to God. Well, I have to complete this job this run, so... Bleh! Bleh! I'm gonna die. Bleh, dude! Well, the job's failed. Fuck. I thought I had more time. I thought I would pass that for sure, man. That's annoying. Oh, do we need to save? No. Let's autosave. Well. Sorry, lad. Complete active scenes. Oh. Oh, right. Caster. When you arrive at Lem and Mina's units, Caster is already waiting outside the door, leaning beside the door. Forgive me, Sleeper, but Celis is already buzzing with news of the breach. I was expecting you. Will this work? Don't worry. The breach cannot be traced to the specific IDs I am about to create. Caster reaches into a pocket and produces a sleek green and white hand terminal. The data, please. Hand it over. You hand over a drive with the data, and Caster fishes around for a converter cable to hook it up. He slots it into the terminal, and after some worrying, a set of 2 transparent films marked with numeric sequences are produced. 2 tickets to an uncertain future. Caster smiles to himself. The child will go with Lem, of course. He pockets them. These are yours, but first, he holds out a white cube. Your side of the deal. What is it? Something to help us make use of you. He passes you the square, and you rest it on your palm. A small, white, perfect cube. Suddenly, you feel a sharp pain. And flinch. The cube jumps from your hand and rattles along the walkway. You look at Caster apologetically. Caster smiles. Not to worry. It's done its job. Now it's time for you to do yours. You look down and see a tiny pinprick in the center of your palm. Nothing sinister. Caster puts the terminal away. This way we can keep track of you and the side rail horizon. Whatever you need to do. Excellent. Caster hands you the transparent films, and you see shimmering portraits of you and Lem flickering beneath the surface. Go give him the good news. And he reaches across and buzzes the units. Lem slides open the door, half-dressed in his gear. Sleeper, what brings you here? Come in. He beckons you inside. You look to the side, expecting to see Caster, but the wall is empty. The unit is cleaner, better organized than last time. Lem sits at the thin bar and gestures for you to sit. Mina's with some of the local kids. Someone started doing lessons down the way. She seems to like it. I'll sit. You see the bar. What's up, Sleeper? I have some news. Out with it, then. I have Celis's IDs for us. You have Lem freezes. How? He blinks rapidly as if to wipe you from his vision. Does that mean we're leaving? Lem stands up and paces around the unit. We have to pack. He starts laughing. Holy shit, we have to pack. He turns back to you smiling. How the hell did you swing this, Sleeper? A friend helped. Well, thank your friend. You show him the ID films and he whistles at the portraits. Impressive stuff. Pats you on the shoulder. You should stay until Mina gets home. We can tell her together. Sure. The buzzer goes. That'll be her. Lem stands up and opens the door. Mina, a bundle of energy and life, rushes into the room. Robot, she shouts. Cubes is in Minecraft. He gave me a Minecraft cube. Lem picks her up. Mina, you won't believe what they brought us. You flash her with the passes and she looks confused. We're going away after all, Meanie. He lifts her up above her head on that big beautiful ship. Mina screams and Lem laughs. He puts Mina down and she runs over to you and hugs your legs. I love you, Robot, she says quietly, so only you can hear. I love you too. And a while later, when you leave, you don't even think to check for Caster by the door until it's too late. You stop and turn, halfway down the walkway, but there's nothing there. Even that little white cube is gone. So you keep walking, back to the low end, deep in thought, excited and scared all at once. Do whatever it takes to get that ticket. The running game. I hope they'll give me one more chance to do that. To do the job. But something tells me that's not gonna work out like that. Moritz is outside when you leave. They're gone. Ember's wake shipped out. I'm sorry. Look, I'll be straight with you. You don't want to do this thing. Don't. He meets your eyes. It's your money, and if you want to let it burn, well, Moritz catches himself and kicks the door. We could try again. First time isn't always lucky. Sorry for getting sharp, just pissed off about something else. Something else? Bliss's ex. He's stirring things up with her. He frowns. Bliss is going to look up another contract when she's ready. Is she okay? Give her time. That guy who stole her shit, he was a real piece of work. Alright, well, I'll come by when there's more work. Stay loose. You watch him go, frustrated at the Ember's Wake contract. The next one will be better. You know it. Yeah. I'm out a bunch of shits. And that's what happens. Alright, well, I still would like 53 cryo. I can't. Let's see. Is there anything else that's... Do I have to invest still? No, I gotta wait for the next contract. Side rail departure. Yep. Alright, let's go across. God. And then we need to do this job. Alright, let's slot some rippers. You need to be ready to give this your full attention. The worm tunnels in and starts looping data through the node. The Conway facility opens up to you. Godspeed, Fang. As you slap the worm, a thread jumps up out of the facility. It unspools in front of you, releasing its data like ink in water. Sleeper, Fang's voice crackles through, moving in. Nodes, then ports, a whir of interference. Slot the worms. Timer starts now. Stay safe. The thread dissipates. You're on your own now. On sec 1. Yeah, we gotta roll. It's time to roll dice, folks. Fang must be struggling to get through. Floral port 1 activated. Consec port. Let's slot in the other Ripper worm. Time to open them up. Fang's progress keeps going. Consec 1, Consec 2. We need a 6-tick. Inner layer, S security is more complex. One access point won't be enough to locate the port. That one's done. Consec 2, I can't slot right now, so I'll have to come back with more dice. Sorry, Fang, I'll be back. Good luck, buddy. Good luck in there. Service dock has something going down. Fang's progress, okay. Yeah, we got 6 days to do 3 ticks. I do want these mushrooms. I need 4 gear roll caps, I think. Oh, this costs me condition. Well, it's definitely giving me energy. I would like to scan the greenway more, but I also need this job. Alright. Down to 4 dice, and I don't have a pill, so we might have to spend the next couple of days working. But we're on time. We're on a timer, so we're on a couple of timers. No idea what the name of the currency is. Shits. Me neither, brother. I wish I had the re-roll perk, man. I really do wish I had the re-roll on my dice perk right now, because my rolls have been shit lately. I would like to do more Yatagan jobs, but honestly, that doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like we're doing that. And I don't think I have... Yeah, I don't think I have any dice to help them out. What do I need? Oh, I have it too. Okay, never mind. Sweet. Me when I'm hacking. Port located. Sweet. Consec port. Slot in this Ripper worm. Please don't tell me it's a 3-tick. I'm gonna be very upset. Ah, it is! That's annoying. I need a 4 or a 6. I need a 3 or a 4. And I need a 4 or a 6. A 5 or a 6. Jesus. These ones are gonna be a little tough to crack. 3 dice, I'm gonna spend 2 on farm stacking. Because I still need to buy a pill. And then 1... the mushroom... I do want to do the mushroom grows. But we're just not getting gear roll caps at all. 2 spores for energy. Let me see. Work for Rabia. No. Improve the overlook. We had to bring Tala a couple of spores. I think just 1, though. Maybe I can do this quest? Nope, that just cost me energy and a sandwich. Bleh, this is tough, man. We're in the fucking late game, man. I'm fucking flickering and everything. Bleh, bleh, bleh. 1 more roll. Ooh, there we go. See, that's the dice I'm looking for. Let me see. How much is a pill? 60? 64? Not too bad. Alright, let's see. Do we have another job? No, not yet. We're also about to leave. Question mark? I need to spend these here. 6 and 4. I have a 4. 6 and 5. I have a 5. Oh, 5 and 3. Okay, we can blow up on all of this. Excellent. Sweet. We didn't get any work done today, which is kind of a bummer, but we don't have to worry about doing this now. A final layer controls surveillance. With this down, Feng should be able to control the facility's cameras. Alright, that's all the Ripper Worms. All layers unlocked. Done. A threat from the facility cuts through the cloud like a hairline crack of light. That's it! The final layer of security broken. The fungus scientist infused to a machine, letting it play music by the signals. Somewhere buried in the depths of the station, Feng is in control. He's slicing into the camera control circuits and piping out the result. The thread flickers and unravels into an image, a scene. 2 figures in a room, one sat, the other pacing. The pacing figure resolves into Hardin, the unmistakable superior posture, the shock of gray hair. The second figure's features don't seem to resolve, they are vague, unformed, a problem with the data perhaps. You look closer. Then you see it. The figure is a proxy. Perhaps you should have expected it from Conway, a corporation whose very existence is owed to automation. I'm sorry. The proxy is a machine, designed to be piloted by a remote connection. Someone else in the system puppeteering it with their own body, speaking so it may speak. The proxy sits impassively, where the Conway executive that is piloting them does, from the distant safety of some ship or orbital colony, perhaps. We can move forward, there is no doubt, Hardin is saying. The reclamation teams are almost ready, and after that I will make the declaration. Nothing has to change. The proxy leans forward, its movements stilted uneven, as if the body was being refracted through water. But things must change, Hardin. We need further assurances. I've been informed of a breach in one of the closed networks in the low end. You have been careless. Hardin waves the accusation away. We have been stretched. A breach was detected, yes, but no data of value was lost. Our board is concerned, Hardin. A drop in our value would be unwelcome at this time. The proxy leans back, its posture dominant. If the reclamation of AE-1 is contested, then we could be drawn into a compromising legal position. Hardin approaches the proxy. There will be no contest, not from Solheim, who cannot muster defense, not from Heavenage, who will fall into line below me. He crouches in front of the seated figure. Eye to eye, and the people of this station, refugees, gangs, spacers, all either opportunists or degenerates. Heavenage is no longer strong, no longer united. No one here believes in Erland's vision, nor has the strength to enact it. I sat across from him at the negotiating table. He was forceful, eager, weakened by his ideological convictions perhaps, but a great man nonetheless. This place no longer deserves to bear his name. The eye is crippled. It cannot survive. It is a ruin filled with squatters and outlaws. They will be lucky if it still spins in 100 cycles. Hardin stands. You will move forward with the reclamation, because otherwise you will lose your advantage in the system. Without your advantage, you will lose claims on the remaining palladium. Without the palladium, your facilities will go dark, he pauses. Do I need to continue? One moment, comes the response from the proxy, and its head drops to his chest. Hardin steps back and paces once more, awaiting the discussion taking place elsewhere in the system. We watch Hardin as he paces, as he considers his future. What goes on within a mind like that, in a mind of a man who would burn all those around him for a path to some imagined golden end? The proxy lifts its head. We're happy to proceed. We will legally claim the station formerly known as Solheim AE-1 as salvage within 6 cycles. Heavenage is to assist with the transport of the illegal residents to Conway housing and labor facilities. The proxy judders to its feet. Conway will also claim 70% of the raw output of the reclamation process after losses have been accounted for. Hardin nods. I accept. The proxy reaches out to shake his hand like a marionette, and then the recording loops. You watch it play out a second time, gripped by a horrified fascination. There is a bluntness to the conversation, and its blatant disregard for humans as anything other than objects. Things to be moved, to be used, to be fed into structures, crushed and losses accounted for in cells of a table, the margins of ledgers. You realize now that you are no different than anyone else on this station in the eyes of the people in that room and those like them. Each body here can be recast as a piece of property, a tool, an expense, an acceptable loss. In a moment, they can be named as citizens, celebrated, protected, and in another way, the very idea of citizenship can be used against them. That is what it means to live in proximity to a system like this. No longer, not while the eye spins. You gather a recording, pack it into a polygon of the purest light. Then you drift down into the service dock like a falling leaf and find the relay. It only takes a second to place the polygon of data, that recording, into the relay system. Feng prepared. And then you watch as it bursts out, a web of threads heading out into the black, to every network device on the eye. Let them see what power makes of a man. Crack the toughest security system on the eye. A simple work for an agent of my stature. Agent nodes give double data. Keep 2 dice when the condition is breaking. Re-roll all of your dice once per cycle. And indeed I shall. We have a 6 die still. I would like to use that to at least get some fucking mushrooms, man. Please give me a gear roll cap. I think I need 3. Fucking finally. I'll take the crosstown. I was like, can I re-roll even when I'm out of dice? How many do I need to turn in? 3. It's rough. Emphis was the first one I did, so we have to do Emphis, man. Oh, I still need money for a pill. I forgot. Trumbalumbalumbus. Trumbalumbalumboid. That's a good set of dice. How are we doing? Oh, this is done. Something tells me we're not leaving. Something tells me we're not leaving. There is a crowd, but you spot Lem and Mina immediately as you enter the dock. They're waiting at the cordon where Cella's security are checking the crew in to board the ship. Those that manage to get to the hub are crowded near the entrance, but even they know their chance of getting on board has long gone. Lem. Lem spots you among the crowd. Sleeper, we are here. They're standing beside a bag which looks to carry all the possessions they have. Small enough to be carried in one hand. You ready? Hi, Mina. Mina is vibrating with excitement. She seems strangely at home in microgravity, but then you remember that she has spent her whole life in space. Hi, robot. You hand over the Celis ID film to Lem, keeping your own. He turns it back and forth in the light. Where'd your friend even get this picture, Sleeper? Looks like my old Conway ID. You look and a shimmering, younger Lem stares out of the film, harder and clean cut. Was I ever meant to leave engineering? We never left. That's the thing. We never left. I spoke to the guard here. He nods to the white and green clad security officer. They'll be doing orientation and role assignment on board. Sounds like we're going to be working under the core crew, kind of like an intern. He laughs. What do you think, Meanie? Am I too old to be an intern? Following Lem's lead, you inspect your ID. As you lift the film up to the light, you see something strange, something that makes you flinch. The face printed in the film is one you recognize immediately, but it is not you. At least, it's not how you look now. You squint at this ghost, confused why you hadn't noticed it earlier. It's a picture you remember being taken, a memory that you didn't know you had. You remember signing the forms, the walk to the sleeper tanks, the cold metal floor. You remember the S&ARP employee who helped you in, her smile clean and surgical. You freeze in place thinking of you that still sleeps somewhere in an S&ARP facility. That won't wake until you are recovered and disposed of. And now, you're leaving. Will they ever wake up? Sleeper, Lem interrupts your thoughts. These guys want us to board. You stare at him without thinking, then notice the guard gesturing to you both to come forward. You all kick off to float over to them, steadying yourselves on the guardrail. You hang back, letting Lem present his ID film first. The guard slides it across the white machine, much like the one Castor printed them from. You reflexively rub the puncture mark on your hand, even though there is no trace of it now. It seems to be your destiny to be someone else's tool. Lem and Mina are waved through. The guard smiled at her excited face. Lem turns back to check you are coming. The guard beckons to you. Board. You shake off your doubts and hand over your ID film. The guard barely looks at it as they pass through the scanner and wave you through. A new life built from old things. You okay? Lem asks, concerned as you catch up with them. You're so slow, robot. Mina teases, grabbing at you with small hands. Just making sure. Lem nods and you realize how much harder it must have been for him to cross that threshold. Mina struggles in his arms, trying to get to you, and Lem relents, struggling with both the bag and his daughter. Mina tumbles through the microgravity and grabs onto your clothes for purchase, pulling herself into your arms. You all proceed up the walkway, the entrance to the docking bridge yawning wide in above you. Are we a family, robot? Mina asks as you move, taking you by surprise. I guess so. Mina smiles and presses her head against your chest, pleased by your answer. You keep moving, up into the docking bridge, then along that thin, glass-walled connector. All the time Mina clutching onto you, the lack of gravity means you can't feel her weight, only the grip of her small hands on your clothes. You both stare wide-eyed at the vast hull, the side-reel horizon, and try to think of this huge machine as home. Later, when you settle in your bunk after Mina has finished running back and forth between you and Lem with an endless and infectious excitement, you find yourself looking at your ID film once more. Somehow, since the last time you looked at it, the image seems to have changed. It is still a picture of the old you, the person that signed up to have their consciousness copied and placed into the ownership of SNARP, but something else has crept into the image, an underlying sense of self-identification. This is also a picture of you. You now. The you that survived the eye, that made friends here, that found a way out, that escaped against all odds. The other you might never wake up, that might never live again, but so be it. They consigned you to a doomed life for your own gain. For their own gain. Their life is yours now. You will live it better than they ever could. You lie back on the bunk as the thrust of the side rail's vast engine kick in. This feeling, this rumble, will be your constant companion for the next decades. It will be there when you work, when you watch Mina grow, when you dream of the planet at the end of the journey. It will stay with you when your body starts to fail, despite the best attempts of Lem and Mina as the years stack up and it exceeds its safe operating period by a decade. It will be the thing you wake up to when those rare moments of consciousness between which Mina will keep you in a frozen state in the hope of preserving you until your destination is reached. It will still be there when Mina wakes you, tears in her eyes to tell you of Lem's inevitable death, and it will not relent despite your desire for a moment of silence. It will be the final thing you hear, as Mina shuts down all but the most vital of all your functions, and hopes beyond hope that you make it to your final destination, all the while doubting that you will. But for now, in this moment of departure, it is still a new sound, a new feeling. Because of this, it is filled with the promise of the future. And so, you settle back in your bunk and close your eyes. In the moments you're sleeping a perfect, dreamless sleep, the most peaceful that you can ever remember. We fucking did it, dude! We fucking did it! We fucking beat the game, dude! I did not think that there was gonna be an ending. I thought we were gonna be stuck on that fucking eye for the rest of our days. None of my business, I'll tell you that much. Off to a new colony, a new world. Never to be stuck on that faithful fucking eye, leaving everybody there to fucking rot and suffer. I tell you what, it was definitely a journey. It was definitely a journey. Well, alright, everybody. That was fucking Citizen Sleeper. That was fucking good, dude. There's a ton more shit to do in the game, but hey, I got my ending, so shall I end it here? I'll end Citizen Sleeper 1. I actually have Citizen Sleeper 2. I don't think it's installed, but... We can start Citizen Sleeper 2 and get a good run up at it. Thank you. Thank you. We aren't at the 2-hour mark, but I guess we don't really need to be. Starward Vector. What do you think happens in the second one? Are they making a third one? Or like DLC for the second one? When did this one come out? Hang on, let me see. Very positive. It came out last year, January 31st, 2025. Very cool, very cool. The Hellion Collection. The Hellion Collection. Spindlejack. Free gift for thank you for the citizen. Spindlejack is a solo TTRPG. Oh shit. They made a board. They made a TTRPG. Very cool. Well, that was Citizen Sleeper 1. There's definitely a lot more to do in that game. I don't plan on playing it anytime soon, though. We can start Citizen Sleeper 2 and then design our character. I don't mind doing that. Because I'm definitely gonna play the second game, so. Citizen Sleepy. It's Citizen Sleepy. It's Citizen Honk Shmeeby. You think the sun explodes in the second game? That sounds cool. Oh shit. Tutorials on difficulty can be changed at any time. Death is permanent. Death incurs a significant permanent penalty. Death is disabled. Broken dice are worth 1. The intended difficulty for those happy to be challenged. Broken dice cannot be used. Standard stress tolerance. Death incurs a significant penalty. Interesting. Broken dice sounds awful. Ooh. Push. Looks weird with yellow. I know. So we could be an operator, an extractor, or a machinist. We were operator last time. I'd like to keep playing operator this time. No endurance though. Okay. Operators are sleepers built to work in the drones and remote facility machines over local networks to perform corporate resource extraction from a distance. Operators have expertise in working with the interference in computer systems, but are more physically fragile than other sleepers. Their reboot skills allow them to hack their own systems to reroll dice, a risky but potentially powerful move. Sleepers assigned to operator work are usually cerebral and precise people. +1 stress, reroll lowest dice. Rally config, +1 stress, +2 to the lowest crew dice. Extractor sleepers are built to work at the coalface of corporate resource extraction, often in hard vacuum environments. Extractors have a high level of physical endurance, but their confidence means they struggle with tasks requiring intuition. Their rally skill allows them to motivate those in their team, boosting their crew dice. Sleepers assigned to extractor work are often confident, self-sufficient, and have a high level of endurance. Machinist sleepers are built to repair and modify automated system used in corporate resource extraction. +1 stress, +2 focus of the lowest dice. But their isolated work means they often struggle with tasks requiring a direct approach or social engagement. Their focus skill allows them to focus on a single task and boost their dice to excel in it. Sleepers assigned to a machinist work are usually diligent, careful, and structured people. Of course we're going to be an operator. Whoa! There's a lot going on here. Push, glitch, rig, map. We have 0 fuel and 0 supplies. In the moment before waking, the dark space before conscious thought, you struggle to find the piece of yourself. Usually these pieces come with a particular cadence, each appearing sequentially, like the boot process of an old terminal. First your body, artificial, compromised, but relaying sense data all the same. Then it's context, the breeze of air filtration, the soft contact of your birth in 0G. Then emotion, coming into focus, coming into your body, bringing with it the first instinct, the one that has framed your past 100 cycles. Fear. But that familiar sequence does not arrive. Instead, you are unmoored in space, your body distant, your context silent, even your emotions somehow obscured and scattered. Among all that disarray, only one familiar thing arrives: the fear. More dice slots than before? Nah, same dice slots. It is a scrambled, panicked fear, the drowning fear, the falling fear, the fear that makes you reach desperately for any stable point. It is the fear that tells you something is wrong. Something's very wrong with you. Wake up, sleeper, the voice is whispered in your ear, an act that makes you suddenly aware of your head, pulsing in pain, your body rigid with tension. Sleeper, a familiar name, a mind copied, emulated, a body built, implanted, one person sleeping until their dead is worked away, their double being made to work, to be consumed and eventually to be destroyed. A proxy, an emulation, a sleeper. That is what you are. But you escaped. You remembered that, now broke free of your corporate creators, S and ARP, in search of a future. You can't remember the details of your escape, but you know the fear has been with you ever since. All of a sudden, you remember you have eyes, and your eyes flicker open. Pale eyes and pale face. Lane. The name comes with its own specific sensation of fear, one you recoil from instinctively. Sorry to interrupt, a sharp smirk, but this ends here. You search your mind for more than a name. Is this how you reward me? For my generosity? Lane is leaning over your horizontal floating body, looking down into your eyes. I took you in, protected you, gave you a purpose. You try to look away into the corners of your vision to find something you understand. Your body does not respond, but I suppose that wasn't enough. He reaches into the pocket of his jacket and retrieves a small vial. This wasn't enough. The vial glitters, this object you know and have known for a long time, stabilizer. The drug that keeps your artificial body, your emulated mind, from inevitable decay. The only balm for your planned obsolescence. The liquid roiling in the vial gives you, fills you with disgust. Lane pockets the vial, but it would be wasted on you now, after what you've done to this body of yours. He looks at you with palpable disgust. Lane's eyes scan your body, and as they do, you become aware of the wires and tubes attached to you. Those that were meant to free you from your dependence, from the stabilizer and the control it grants Lane. They are free, you piece of shit. They don't need you anymore. The voice comes from somewhere behind Lane's head. It's a voice you know, but when you search your mind to try to understand why, you find only dizzying darkness. Shut him up, Lane barks the command. and you hear the sounds of impact, of pain, from elsewhere in the room. You try to move your limbs again, and this time you feel a flicker, the twitch of a finger, you feel the extension of compression of synthetic muscle. Free, are you? Lane smirks. You were free when I disabled your tracker, when I gave you the stabilizer you needed. He scans your body with angry eyes. Now you aren't free, you are just broken. I had such big plans for you, Sleeper. I invested in you. Lane grips your arm hard, and you feel a jolt reaction. You will the arm to move, but you have ruined all of that. Lane speaks louder over the sound of the struggle behind him. I will try to preserve your body, of course. I have my own uses for it, but your emulation. You feel one of his hands searching behind your head. He finds and grips the thick cable running into the port out of the base of your skull. I'll burn that out. Lane jerks forward, slamming across your body, then spinning away out of sight. You feel yourself rolling. The cable's plugged into your looping and wrapping around your limbs. And then you feel hands steadying you, pulling cables. You glance around wildly and see someone diligently unplugging you. You meet his eyes. Hey! He waves a hand in a dazed face. We need to move. Lane won't be out long. He unloops a cable from around your wrist. Sleeper, help me out. You blink slowly. Do you know this person? He leans over you and you feel his hands on the connector, flicking switches, releasing locks. Come on, come on, come on! He tugs the connector clear and pulls you up. You see the room you're in for the first time, filled with tech and terminals, wires waving everywhere, all lit by big windows looking out into an impossibly bright screen-filled street beyond. In the corner, you see the dark shape of a floating body surrounded by a glittering constellation of crimson baubles. Is that blood? Move! You're wrestled and shoved toward the door, which slides open in front of you, and then you're out in all the brightness, all the movement, gliding hard towards some unknown destination. You come to stop in a dark alley, the one who guided you here pausing to catch his breath. He doubles over beside a massive life support unit that sends a lukewarm breeze across your skin. You stare at him, trying to recall anything about him. You notice his tattered jacket, his lightweight clothes. You remember the station runs hot, something about the power that flows through the place. He looks up and meets your eye. What's going on, Sleeper? He wipes sweat from his forehead and it floats away in a swarm of spheres. Talk to me. Who are you? You see a concerned frown across his face. Don't mess with me, Sleeper. That's not funny. He comes closer, eyeing you carefully. What station are we on? He knows his eyes. Wait for an answer. You close your eyes, trying to recall. You force your way through the dark to the image of the station. No, a city, growing on the back of a vast set of hexagonal solar cells, shadowed by them. You open your eyes. Dark side. The word leaves your mouth like an exhale, an instinct. Before you heard yourself sound it out, you didn't know it was there. He sighs. And me? Who am I? You see something like fear in his eyes, panic perhaps. You stare hard at his face, the slight upturn of his mouth, the intensity of his stare. Nothing comes. He closes his eyes and drops his head, putting a hand on his temple. The reboot. He's speaking quietly to himself. Lane interrupted the process, and he lifts his head and stares at you. We gotta keep going. We need to leave. He turns and kicks off the alleyway. Come on, the rig can't be far. As you're led to the passageways and serviceways of the station, you try to recall your life here. The texture and temperature of Darkside feels familiar, but you struggle to pin specific memories to it. Focusing hard, you recall waking up in these passages cycle after cycle, the rhythms of the station flowing over you along with the crowds. You recall desperation and the slow decay of your body that caused it. Then Lane, those pale eyes, offering you a glittering vial, stabilizer. The promise of supplying more for your work, a deal he locked you into like a cage. There, your memory fails you, but in the dark beyond, the moment the residue of panic, of fear remains. You were Lane's prisoner, Lane's plaything. You shudder in the cold passage. Wait. Your guide holds up a hand and you stop your glide using the wall. Ahead, you see the tunnel open up in a wide open bay with a few doors leading to cylindrical tunnels. The docks. They're watching the rig. He nods toward the docks, and you see one of the doors has a couple of figures flanking it. One covered in ornate tattoos, the other with bright silver implants along with cheekbones. Utsubo, Lane's guys. He looks at you and shakes his head in frustration. All this, it's not coming back to you, is it? Something catches your eye and you see he is playing with a coin, nervously turning it over and over in his fingers. He sees you looking and slips it away. He places a hand on his chest. I'm Seraphin, alright? He looks pained when he speaks. Lane, he was our captor, both of us. We did this so we could escape. We needed to reboot you to break your dependence on stabilizer, he pauses. You know what that is, right? You nod meekly. But Lane interrupted me back there, the reboot didn't complete, and he sighs and shakes his head. We can still make this work. He looks back at the docks. I'll lead him away. You get to the docking bridge open. We need to make it to the rig. I know how to get us in. Got that? He searches your face for a sign of recognition. I got it. Get that door open. He pats you on the shoulder. I know you can do this. Seraphin kicks off hard and glides into the docks. Over here, shitheads. He bellows to the guards as he barrels through. They immediately push off from the wall, giving chase. Oh, fuck. A tutorial. During the scene, you may encounter a skill check, where you can perform certain actions using your skills. Like the dice actions you will encounter later, skill checks can have positive, neutral, or negative outcomes. Better the rating of the skill, the more likely you will succeed at checking. The odds of success are displayed when you select a check. You can see more info in the guide section of the pause menu. Gotcha. Alright, so decisions have checks now, which is nice. That's what I was kind of hoping for last game. Slungus. You wait a breath, then glide across the door they were guarding. You look, already panicked, at the tightly sealed door. Its control panel locked out. You hear a shout from somewhere nearby. You need to get it open. Hack the door, obviously, or break the seal. Hack the door, or interface posting. Neutral choice, outcome passed. You shift the control panel, trying to understand the readout. The door's on emergency lock. Somewhere you hear more shouting. Your fingers hover over the keys. You switch to the administration layer and begin flooding the door operation system with spoof requests, desperately hammering the controls. The control OS crashes and the door judders halfway open before failing. Go, go! Seraphin flies past you through the doorway into the docking tunnel. You turn to see 2 guards approaching fast across the docks and quickly glide after Seraphin. Seraphin is already at the rig's door inputting an entry code. The rig's door scissors open and you both rush inside. Quickly. Seraphin grabs you by the arm and drags you up to the cockpit, the ship's layout hazy in your mind. He dumps you in a flight seal and straps himself into his own. You see him tap a series of buttons as he does, talking to himself. Come on. The rig's drive rumbles into life, and Seraphin slams a button on the console. You feel the force of the ship's acceleration as it pulls away. And out we go. Oh, there we go. Hello, Gibster. As the ship glides into place on the connecting bridge, its automatic systems nudged there by the port docking systems. You feel a sense of relief. Seraphin burned hard at a dark side, and you dropped in and out of consciousness in your seat as the rig made its way across the belt. But now with open space between you and Lane, you feel fresher, more awake. Seraphin breaks the silence. We're good, Sleeper. His eyes don't leave the monitor, and you realize this part of your escape is routine for him. You and he must have docked his ship countless times in your work with Blaine. The problem is you don't remember any of it. We made it, he whispers, closing his eyes, letting out a sigh. He certainly did. He turns and you see a pained look on his face as if remembering something difficult. Have you said this exact thing to him before, in the same situation? You okay? He looks at you, chewing one side of his lip, searching your face. Not really, he puffs. Seraphin reaches up, flickering through the set of switches in a practical fashion, completing the shutdown. You watch, a little frustrated with your own uselessness. Running the rig, you realize it's just another thing you forgot. A clunk that runs through the walls of the ship is followed by a short percussive alarm tone from a ship's console. Docking complete. Seraphin kicks off his seat, twisting as he glides past you toward the back of the cockpit. His hands find the rails on either side of the door, and he pauses, facing into the corridor beyond. He turns back to you, backlit in the cold cyan. We need a plan, he glances around. Lane's not going to let us slip away quietly, he sighs. We hide here. Seraphin glances around. I hope you don't mean on the rig. He smiles a little, his teasing still a little unsure. His smile fades. Maybe, but on the approach, Hexport looked like a pretty small place to disappear into. You brought ourselves some time, he glances through the cockpit window at the blinking light of the station. You may not remember Hexport, but I do. And there are plenty of opportunities here for us, if we can keep our heads down. He turns back to the corridor. That's what we'll do. He pushes off and glides towards the main lock, and you follow, pulling yourself alongside hand over hand in 0G. We already emptied the tank on this thing. He slaps his hand against the ship's insides. So we need to refuel, and that won't be cheap. But if you, and I know one thing, Sleeper, it's how to work. I'm gonna get myself reacquainted, see if I can turn up any old connections, people that might throw us an easy contract. You, he glances back over his shoulder, you keep out of trouble. Low profile, got it. Seraphin stops at the airlock. Stopping the reboot halfway, though, he pulls a worn crew jacket from the locker and starts pulling it on. We don't know what that did to you. He jams an arm into the sleeves. I don't want you passing out, and he stops. It'll take both of us. Seraphin sighs. I hate when you're right. He grabs another crew jacket and thrusts it at you. Just put the damn hood up, will you? You take it and slip it on. Thank you. Excuse me. Not a bad first roll, it looks like. Seraphin nods. He stabs at the button to open the lock. The inner door hisses open and Seraphin glides through. Wait for a little bit, then leave. Anyone looking for us will be looking for 2 people traveling together. He looks at you in the worn jacket, a limited disguise for what is clearly a sleeper. We meet back here later. Any trouble? Same thing, meet here. He surveys your disguise again and shakes his head. This is a shitty idea. He gives you one last look. Maybe you find yourself something to eat. Suddenly you recognize Seraphin's instinct to look after you. A flash of relationship now lost to the reboot. Catch! Seraphin throws a handful of something towards you. You manage to grab the projectiles, and when you open your hand, you see a stack of cryo chits. These should get you some food. We'll need some more for fuel and supplies, he grimaces. That means odd jobs at the station for both of us. Seraphin kicks off and glides down the docking bridge. Don't go too far, alright? Take it slow. And with that, he's gone, leaving the connecting bridge and heading into Hexport's docking concourse. You wait for a moment. Make a plan. You try to think ahead to what might be coming. You'll need work, that's the first step, but what then? Lane will be coming eventually. The sooner you put some distance between you and Hexport, the better. So that's the plan. Rest, resupply, run. You shake the thought from your head and pull the tight jacket. Let's see what Hexport has to offer. You kick off and glide into the port. Welcome to Hexport, folks. Welcome to Citizen Sleeper 2. The game runs in cycles during which you can perform actions with your dice, use cryo to buy food, fuel, supplies, items, progress clocks towards new scenes and events. You can read the tutorial anytime. Alright, welcome to Hexport. Not a whole lot going on here, huh? This is our rig. The rig is your ship and home at the Starward Belt. While the rig is docked at the hub, there are multiple areas you can visit. Bunks, use dice to reduce stress. Galley, use supply to regain energy. Other locations will unlock as you play. While the rig is in dock at the hub, your crew will also help gather resources to contribute to the upkeep of the ship. You can choose which resources they should focus on in the crew task menu to the left. Random chance of acquiring at the beginning of the following cycle. Seraphin is working odd jobs. He can scavenge fuel and source supplies. The clock, the cycle clock. The next event. On the run. Use some distance between you and Lane, but you are sure that he'll close the gap as soon as he is able. Task changes per cycle. Do not end the cycle. Wait, open the ship again? I can grab food. I can make a meal, which I need supplies to do, and I have 2. And that's food for that, I think. The rig bunks, I can rest and recover. I think condition or something like that, probably. Oh, this quick switches to the rig, this quick switches to explore. The Hexport Exchange and the Hexport Docks. I can also check the space map. It looks like there's a ton of locations to go to, which is interesting. I wonder how this will play out. This game seems a lot more expansive since the last one, that's for sure. With that being said, that's gonna be the stream tonight. I've not killed anybody today. And because that's the end of the stream, what are we doing tomorrow? Oh, tomorrow's Friday, so it's TF2 day. Exciting. With that being said, I hope everybody has a good rest of your night. I'm gonna go take a long, warm shower to try to get my sinuses uncleared. And then I'm gonna eat some chili cheese fries. Look at me, dude. I hope everybody has a good night. I hope everybody enjoyed Citizen Sleeper. We finally beat that game, and we're on to the second one, which looks like it's gonna take up even more time than Citizen Sleeper 1. With that being said, I hope everybody has a good night. Goodbye, everybody. Have a good one. Bye-bye, Johnny.